Hello there. Things have been a bit interesting of late, so I apologise for the lack of bloggage. Yeah, I've been very busy with a lot of things of late, so unfortunately I've not had time to write or record. It is quite time consuming to set everything up and record or write and take photos and everything. And at the moment things have just been a bit too busy and I've not really had time to sit down or record stuff. So yeah, what I wanted to do today was talk a bit about what happened last week actually. I had my first appointment at the gender clinic. After a very, very long wait, I was referred in beginning of December 2015, and I finally got my appointment through on, I believe it was the 17th of January this year, and I couldn't attend it because I was away that day, so I had to take the next appointment off for me, which was the 11th of April. So yeah, it's been a long wait, and finally I attended the clinic, which is actually very convenient for me. I know people have to travel from all over the sort of west of England and South Wales to get to it, but it's about a 15-minute walk from my flat. So yeah, I'm very lucky to live where I am. And this is pretty much what I wore. Wasn't really intended to be match outfit, but yeah, it just happened that way. So I had to fill out a mass of mental health questionnaires. I think it was about 10 or 11 pages of questions about my mental health state over the last 3 weeks, I believe it was. I can't remember because I handed them in now. As well as I had to take along my D-poll to prove that I changed my name. So first of all, I basically checked in at reception and then just had a brief wait before appointment started, and my gosh, it was intense. It was a 2-hour session with a therapist. I actually had to go over every part of my life story in detail. So things like childhood, relationship with parents, relationship with other family, my not so good school days. Camera's made an awful click noise. I'm hoping that's recording still. There will be a jump cut. Okay, jump cut over. It was a false alarm. Our builder's working over the road and they're making various noises, and even though I've got all the windows and that shut, yeah, it's still leaking through. So yeah, having had to go over everything for 2 hours, including details of sex life, relationships with parts of my body I'd rather not really discuss, how I cope with body image, everything like that. And yeah, it's really, really draining. So I was very relieved at the end of it when she sort of said that's the end of the session. I'm putting you forward to a doctor for hormones, which is good news. The bad news is there's a 1-year wait for that. Yeah, I am getting used to waiting. Then also more therapy, again unspecified wait time. There may be a support group in July, so yeah, it's going to be yet more waiting, and I sort of, at the moment, I'm itching to get on with it, because, yeah. A friend of mine did send me a load of stuff about self-medication, but until I get my health a bit better in general, yeah, I'm not going to go down that route. Waits are not good, but speaking to a couple of people, of the other attendees and the support people, yeah, trans has become quite visible and a lot more accepted in the UK of late. We do have, much loath as I'm to say, Caitlyn Jenner to partly thank for that, as well as there is a trans actress in Hollywood, in Oaks now. I don't watch it, so I can't remember her name. I probably should have researched this beforehand. I will put a caption in, as I can't annotate anymore. Yeah, so with trans becoming a lot more mainstream, they've seen a huge upsurge in new applicants for new referrals. It's now 2 per day they're getting, so 60 a month, and they are training new staff up, but they can't train them up quick enough. So yeah, they can't keep up with demand because it takes about a year or so to train up a new trans specialist, and yeah, even if they took on another 2 or 3 now, they wouldn't make a dent in it. It probably would be overwhelmed by the time they're actually up and live. So yeah, that's not so good part, but I think being referred to a doctor is definitely a good step. I've known people who've taken a lot longer to get the referral, so I think I'm doing well. I have requested voice therapy, hair removal, the laser hair removal, and pretty much anything else they can offer me. Interestingly, something else I learnt is, as of now, the clock is now ticking for me. 1 year from the 11th of April, I become eligible for bottom surgery. Doesn't mean I will get it immediately, but 1 year is in the NHS system is the sort of minimum requirement. There's a lot more requirements, but that's like the first tick off to get things sorted down there. So that's good, interesting to know, because by the time I'm eligible for hormones, I'll also be eligible for GRS. Also, as of now, 2 years' time, I'll become eligible for a certificate to say that I'm officially female, despite the fact that pretty much everyone recognises me as female. Most government departments do, like DVLA, Passport Service. The only ones that don't do it without a certificate are marriage, I believe pensions as well. Pension requirements require a certificate. For the certificate, I have to go pay £150 and basically submit all documentary evidence, basically for a panel to judge that I am me. So yeah, I've got that to look forward to. And then the not so good news, which might occasionally see me grimace a bit, is after that I may have got drunk for the first time in 6 months. I had wine and prosecco. I'm one of these I never remember which way around the O and the E go. So it's either prosecco or prosecco. Prosecco or prosecco. Yeah, sparkly dizzy water. Yeah, so I may have got drunk, and on way back on the train, I then got off at St Thomas and walked up because the trains don't go to my local station that late. Yeah, I ran into some friends outside Walkabout, got essentially glumped with a big squeezy hug, and yeah, I got hugged so tightly I've actually bruised a rib. So yeah, I've been in a bit of pain for the last week or so. I did get checked out at the hospital, and yeah, that was someone else that won't. That's the other thing, that won't accept my gender without a certificate. Yeah, despite the fact that the NHS won't, the hospital and A&E services won't accept it without a certificate. So yeah, so if I have an accident, I'm going to have to show a gender certificate to show my gender. Yeah, don't you just love bureaucracy? Yeah, so that did mean I was a bit less bouncy than I would have been when I went to see Aesthetic Perfection, and certainly the last party as well I went to, I was a bit down on that one. But as I say, at least I know now nothing's broken, and it's just going to take time and lots of paracetamol to get me through the hurtiness. So yeah, that's the story of my trans status so far. Needless to say, I will post more sort of textual write-up and a bit more content over the next few days. Yeah, I shall speak to you very soon.